Husband's best friend is demanding a public apology from me. Myself 26 female and my husband 28 male have been together for 11 years, married for 2. When we got married, I had just started a new job, and did not have enough leave accrued to go on our honeymoon, so we never got the chance. This November, we are going to Japan for about 2.5 weeks, and it has been planned around our wedding anniversary November 13th. It is also my very first international trip. My husband's best friend HBF 29 male has been in a relationship 26 female for the past few years. He's very ambitious and has worked himself to the bone to get where he is, so he deserves a break. A few months back, my husband and I went to a travel agency to get a rough idea on how much everything could cost. We then booked everything ourselves for much cheaper within that same week. HBF got wind of the trip and self-invited himself and his GF to come along, copying our dates, fly-in, movements to each city, and flying back home. I brought it up to my husband multiple times that I did not want his best friend coming on the trip, let alone with the exact same dates. He didn't see the issue. I compromised and asked him to get HBF to come a week later. HBF has known my husband much longer than I have, so I had thought that my husband could sort it out. He dismissed it. Fast forward around a month, we have a group dinner. I should also mention that HBF moved out of state to start his own life, building his career as he has. At this dinner, I was asked about the upcoming trip to Japan, and I let everyone know that while I was excited overall, I was not happy with HBF and his GF coming. There was no shit talking of any kind, it was literally I'm quite excited for it, HBF is coming along too. When the other couple at the dinner, I'll name them, KP, asked how I felt, I said that it was annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it since my husband didn't really stop HBF from self-inviting and booking everything. KP started talking to my husband, trying to convince him to sort it out, as it wasn't fair on me to have other people come on my first international trip and our honeymoon. That conversation took maybe 5 minutes. Once it was done, we all went back to having our laughs. Moving forward, I kept biting my tongue, while at the same time hinting to my husband that I really didn't want HBF coming on the trip. Moving forward another month or so, KP asked if it had been addressed. I said no. Then I got into my feelings, and when my husband was about to get off one of his regular gaming sessions with HBF, I told him to sort it out. Before I do, I could hear HBF trying to bullshit his way through it, as he always does, so I snapped. I got emotional, I started crying and screaming at HBF over Skype. Fuck him, how dare he intrude, why can't he get off of husband's PP, why didn't he ask me if it was okay to come, he's so disrespectful, duck his ego, etc. that lead to a fight between husband and myself. I immediately regretted how I handled it, but I left it all alone for a couple of days, as I did not want to come off fake when addressing everything and apologizing. A few days later, I reached out through text and explained step by step why I felt the way I did and apologized repeatedly for my actions. His response was half making it about him and half I appreciate the apology but I need time alone. I told him that I respected his decision and that I would leave the line of communication open for him to reach out if he is ever ready to. That was the last point of contact on my end. Now, for extra context here, KP are going through IVF and recently announced that they are pregnant. They are planning their gender reveal for late September, and HBF will be attending. I have chosen to not reach out since last time, as I feel I've left the ball in his court. In saying that, I also have a new job to focus on. I came back from work today, to my husband telling me that 1. HBF is coming to the gender reveal. And 2. He's gotten over everything, but he's asking for me to apologize to him in front of the entire event for what I did because he feels humiliated. My issues with this: I did not talk shit about him when it was brought up at the previous dinner. I talked about my issues with him coming. He is demanding a public apology from me, at his close friends event. Not a regular event, but their gender reveal, where it is both friends and families attending. He has not apologized to me for intruding on my honeymoon, yet I apologized repeatedly for the way I reacted. Further to point 2, he wants to make his friends event all about him. That itself doesn't sit right with me. The fact that he is demanding that I apologize to him in front of everyone at this event really rubs me the wrong way, especially since all the boys in the friend group have been mates since high school.